and Charles Davis.
Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Dallas Cowboys. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said. The key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
Greg Zuerlein now. He'll handle the honors to get us started. And off we go from Seattle. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And when I think of Russell Wilson, I think not just of the big plays that he's made, and those are considerable, but when they were made. 4th and 26 in a Big Ten championship game against Michigan State when he was with Wisconsin, a big completion helped lead his team to a victory. A big 4th down throw for a touchdown in an NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. When the chips are down, this guy plays at a big level.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down.
Gerald McCoy is so slippery and elusive in the interior of the defense. I don't care who has the assignment to block him. It usually ends up having to take at least 2. And most of the time, that's not enough either. Witness that tackle for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. And one of the big bodies helping out this offense is your boy, Upati.
And all he wants to do is have running plays called. Fire out and smack people.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt.
Here we go.
And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Prescott. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Benson Mayowa able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. And the offensive starters for Dallas.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Cooper's got it. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 34. This is Elliott. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Bruce Irvin is an emotional, passionate player who lives to rush the quarterback.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Big stop, let's go.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Looking for Cooper. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards. Good for a Cowboy 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the red zone now, Prescott sliding out of the pocket. He's going to take off with it. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Mike, there you go.
To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. This to Jarwin. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
3rd and short yardage, Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. Credit the tackle there to Jordan Lewis. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Clinton Dix attracted a lot of attention when he was about to enter the NFL for his ability to play the football in the air. He's actually shown that he can tackle pretty well in the league, too.
Check right 54. Right 54. Defense with check.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back.
Game situation, let's go.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. 1st down, Seahawks.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Mike, with the team. Here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Mike 54. Let's go heavy. Let's go heavy.
Now on 2nd and 13. Wilson. That one going to be complete to David Moore. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Check 48's the Mike. And it's getting him home.
Wilson will throw again. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Hey, defense, let's go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson rolling to his right. Now he'll pull it down. And it's a Seattle Seahawks touchdown. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice gain.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. Jason Myers now for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Play fake. Here's Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them, because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
Cut. 280. 48 Mike. Man out, man out, man out, man out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Yeah, let's go sack lunch.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Second down and goal. Wilson looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Chris Carson, the intended receiver, but now it's third and goal.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag. So they went to the booth to see if that was a touchdown, and they have decided it will not be a touchdown. 6 points off the board. Now, definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. Myers' kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? The cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
There you go.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Prescott from the gun. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. Gets around him. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Bashed.
Super toe.
Now Wilson on first down. He'll find Metcalf. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Right there, 54 Mike. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
They'll run on first down. Carson. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Check 13. Check 13.
10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports.
Right, 380. Mike 54. Coming.
On second down now, it's Carson. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
Keep playing hard, fellas.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. A 55-yard attempt, normally you'd say well within his range. Little surprised he came up short.
And he knew it immediately, didn't he? They are so calibrated, aren't they? They can tell the touch, the feel. When they put the foot to the ball, whether it's going to be good or not, he knew immediately he didn't have that one.
And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. They'll start the drive with Elliott. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Got an open man, the tight end, Jarwin. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Elliott. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Focus, defense, focus.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Going underneath, complete to Jarwin. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And Zerline's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip. After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Chris Carson trotting back out there. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the shotgun, Wilson. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. They'll get 34 yards there.
Come on, man. Let's go.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's a quick throw out wide to Dorsett. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson, he finds Dorsett. It's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Again, Wilson. He's got Lockett. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk 1st down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Wilson now, only 1 pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Here's Carson. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check.
On 2nd down now. It's Carson looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Here's Wilson, operating from the gun. Looking for his running back, and he's got him.
I'm going to hit you all day, baby.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And Myers able to knock it through. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. A touchdown would tie it. They trail 13-6 as they come up with a 1st and 10. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. On play action, Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Strong left, strong left. Everyone, you got 4.
Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Cowboys on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Returnable for Lockett. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. They've got the lead. They haven't really had to utilize him all that much so far, but I guess if you're winning on the scoreboard, not too much to complain about.
Not at all, but you know those guys out wide, they want as many catches as they can possibly get. They may need him later on if things get a little tighter.
Yeah, so far 2 catches. We'll see what happens here as the game progresses. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Move 15. 65. 65.
On first down, Carson. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Ready? 48 Mike. Hang me up. Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Seahawks on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Wilson. He can run for it, and he will. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. 10th carry now for Elliott. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
Right there, 54 Mike. Man, I got you.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Prescott. It's caught. Cooper. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin.
Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. He's been pretty quiet here in the second quarter. They've got the lead. That's the good news. But you think they get him more involved going forward?
I think that they do, and that's what they always want to do because he's such a priority and he's such a big-time playmaker. But sometimes defenses take that away, and they've been able to find another way to get it done themselves.
Yeah, they absolutely have. They're winning, and look at the scoreboard right now. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Wilson stepping up. He's going to keep it, and that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, he'll try and run it. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On 1st down, Wilson. And an alley to run. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and that'll bring up 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. It's caught, Lockett. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, 1st down Seahawks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down at will.
Mike's by 4. On the ball.
To throw again is Wilson. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports halftime report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far and certainly plenty to look forward to as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Blake Jarwin, the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Quick throw, and it's caught by Gallup. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Prescott yet again. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Here's Prescott, and that's Elliott, complete. Past the 20. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. Now Elliott fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out.
Last stop. Last stop.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Second and goal from the 1.
Don't get nervous.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Partners, that a little sweet justice for Super Bowl 49 right there?
You know nothing can ever erase the total sting, but that has to feel good, right? To flip it around, be on their own 1-yard line defending, and come up with the interception.
Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down. That fits the bill.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still, no yardage. Okay.
Watch tight. Tight is right.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. This complete to Lockett. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 73 yards. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead is up to 14. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. He's going to take off with it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Prescott, this to Jarwin. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Prescott now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. The 1st down carry by Elliott doesn't amount to much as he'll get forward for about a couple. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he will have the 1st down as he gets this to the 47. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll try to throw now. Prescott got his man there complete to Gallup. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the 1st.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now Prescott. They'll roll him out right. And now he's going to use his legs. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 12-yard line.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
Prescott now After the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Draw play, Elliott. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Down in this one, they needed that score, but they'll have to hold at least for the time being.
You're exactly right. Points that they had to have. As you said, they have to regroup now and see if they can get them another way.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
After the made field goal, Zuerlein back out there now to send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back.
Here's the line. Single.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs, How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
So don't say nothing.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. K.J. Wright leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Here we go. Line 54. Line 54. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Prescott. And his throw is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
They'll throw again. Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
They run again with Carson. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
The Seahawks on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. He may try and run for this. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way, because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th. Now the big play pushes him all the way out to the 40 now for first down. Now a toss play. It's Carson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
We ain't giving them nothing today.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 38-yard line.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. It's caught, Lockett. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Now Wilson. And they've got the hookup. This is Olsen. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys.
No, possession's on.
This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
All right, so the Cowboys will go for two here.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me.
Prescott now after the fumble recovery. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up.
It's funny to me because we actually keep a football in the booth with us during games. And I notice you cradling the football. You get it tucked pretty tight with the points of pressure here. And that didn't occur on that play, did it?
Now, you saying I wouldn't have fumbled if I was down there?
You would not have fumbled. You got that thing locked in tight.
I also have really large biceps. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded at the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one because margin for error is starting to slip away. And now it's down to a one-score game.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
To throw again on second down. Wilson, and this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Off the edge, it's Tyrone Crawford with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now come the Cowboys. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Prescott from the gun. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Prescott to throw it. He'll run it. Oh, Prescott stripped.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. I'm going to come back to you.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Prescott, he's going to find Gallup here complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Prescott looks to throw on 1st. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Benson Mayowa able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Check tight.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Man open. That's complete to Dalton Schultz. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Prescott to throw on 4th. And that is incomplete. Jason Garrett might be wanting to reconsider the decision to go for it there. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So the defense asked to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting 1st downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going, and above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. Second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Let's go, D.
They go play action with Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's third and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He may try and run for this. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's fourth.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting this sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Throwing, Prescott, escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Now it's Lockett. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They'll begin the drive with Carson. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a first and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They'll run on first down. It's Carson, and now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
They run the counter. Carson, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. On first down, it's Carson, and a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
I know he ain't got it.
Now it's Carson. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. One last shot now for Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.